Hello YouTube, I'm Vault34 and welcome to my channel. So I just wanted to make a pretty quick introduction video of who I am, what I'm up to, and kind of like my history with the whole Fallout franchise, where it started and hopefully where it's gonna go. Now, my love for the Fallout franchise started in 2008 by my sister actually getting me Fallout 3 for Christmas that year for the Xbox 360. Before that, I had zero idea what Fallout even was. And honestly, I don't think she knew what Fallout was at the time either. She just thought it was a good game because it got good ratings, and she knows I love playing video games. So I got that for Christmas of 2008, and as soon as I left the vault for the first time, just the whole atmosphere and that feeling you get when you step out and the light is blinding you and it's just desolate and ruins when you look out into the abyss. That was pretty much my intro with Fallout. And once I started digging into the nitty-gritty of what the game was and all the quirks and the Easter eggs and the story behind it and the lore, it just got me hooked. Before I played Fallout 3, I was mainly a first-person shooter, Call of Duty up until then, Medal of Honor, all those games. I loved World War II and history, and so I think that is partially why I got so addicted, if you want to call it that, to the Fallout series, is because it takes history and it branches off in like the 50s and the 60s, and it just becomes this whole new world of conflict and who's fighting who, what's the government, what are all these people doing out in the wasteland, and it just kind of consumed me for a couple years. So this next statement is probably going to get a lot of flack, and rightly so, but when Fallout New Vegas came out, I want to say a freshman in high school. I might have been a sophomore. And the whole Las Vegas atmosphere and the desert, it just didn't get me like the Capitol Wasteland did in Fallout 3 with Washington, D.C. It was not a bad game by any means. For the most part, it's probably people's favorite Fallout if you ask the majority of people. But for whatever reason, I couldn't like get deep into it like I did with 3. So during that time when New Vegas came out and before anything else in the future came out, like Fallout 4, I pretty much got back into Call of Duty. I got big into making YouTube videos around Call of Duty, whether it's montages, tips and tricks, and all that good stuff. YouTube started really taking off at that time, and I didn't lose interest in Fallout per se, but it was just kind of, in the background. I would pick up New Vegas every couple weeks and play a couple missions and then go back to what I was doing. So fast forward to 2015, maybe even 2014 actually, when Fallout 4 got announced, and I have never in my life, up until that point, been hyped for a video game as much as I was for Fallout 4. When I saw it was going to be in Boston, in the Commonwealth, and how they were going to add these new graphics and everything, they updated everything, and they're going to have base building, and we're going to be... It overwhelmed me, per se, because Fallout 3 was just a simple RPG, do this, do that, there's not really a lot of customization as far as the weapons, and you can't build anything. So when I found all this out, it piqued my interest again, and my god, I fell hard for Fallout 4. I don't know why. Like I said, I love history, so it being in Boston and the revolution was there, everything kind of came together, and it was a perfect time because I had just graduated high school, and it filled my time perfectly. It came out and it just, it blew me away. And now I'm at the point in my life where I have income, I have free time, I've been playing Fallout 4 a bunch. I came across some of the merchandise for Fallout 4, some of the figurines, some of the posters, some fan-made stuff like Deathclaw heads and laser rifles and power armor helmets, and that also kind of sucked me back into playing Fallout again, was collecting the merchandise and all the fan-made stuff. As you can see in the video right now, I got a little carried away, I will say. And sadly, I sold some of it off a couple years ago. But I'm starting to rebuild it now. I'm starting to slowly piece together my collection again. And then Fallout 76 gets announced. And I didn't exactly know how to feel about it. I thought it was a great idea being in West Virginia and having it more lush with green and trees and grass than the other games have been. But the whole online co-op play with your friends aspect, I was on the fence about it. And I just kind of loved it. I fell in love with the whole aspect of playing alongside a couple of my friends and doing the storyline together and just exploring the wasteland. Now, I will say that when the game originally came out, it was a little rocky. The quest line and the whole idea of there being no human NPCs in the game, and you and your friends pretty much making up your own storyline. You know, I beat the game with my friend. I beat the game solo, and then I kind of took a step back a little bit, and I played some Fallout 4. And then they announced the expansion, where they were going to add humans back into it. And ever since then, I've been dumping hours and hours into 76. And I think the majority of why I'm playing it still is the community. I have yet to come across a friendlier, non-hostile community that just wants to help you out. And as I mentioned earlier, I come from Call of Duty, and as most of you guys probably know, the Call of Duty community can be quite toxic. So the Fallout 76 community being so open-armed and willing to help was honestly a nice breath of fresh air. And again, that's most likely why I'm sticking with it, is just because the community and the people out there who still play it, they're passionate about it. And Bethesda and ZeniMax Studios, they just keep making and dumping content into this. Between Atlantic City and the Pit, and now Ohio, and the human NPCs being back, the Brotherhood of Steel, the Enclave, like, I am looking forward to what this game can potentially be. Now, I know it's not going to be the be-all of Fallout, but it's nice to have, you know, a supported game every couple months that gets new content added. So, with all that being said, that's pretty much my journey with the whole Fallout franchise, and I don't see it dying down anytime soon. I'm still kind of rebuilding my collection, you know, a piece here, a piece there, a bobblehead here, you know, a figure here, whatever it may be. But how did you guys get into Fallout? Leave a couple comments below. I would love to hear the story behind how you kind of got consumed by the franchise like I did. And you never know. Maybe I'll see you guys out in the wasteland. But thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Comment, like, subscribe as always. And I'll see you in the next one.